Yo, 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 bitches, what it is? Yo, hostess with the mostest, motherfucking TJ Kirk here. Last night, we did a deep fat fried about the Me Too movement, and we're going to show you the best clip from that episode. Remember, it's available only to DFF patrons, so if you're not a patron and you want to see the full thing, check it out. This is me and Paul arguing about Louis C.K. and just how wrong what he did was. It gets pretty fucking heated up, bitch! So let us know what you think of the discussion, and if you want to see the full episode, nice long episode at 2.5 hours, by the way, become a patron.
Once a standard is set, where it's just, oh, you're accused, you're automatically guilty. And now everything you've done, like, oh, well, any show you were on, you're pulled from that. Your career is destroyed. Is there any evidence you did something? It's like, no, you're talking about due process, but there's no due process in these cases. You're fucking guilty until proven innocent.
In the case of a guy like Louis C.K., who just outright came out and fessed up, and he didn't rape anybody. Like, no matter what you say, he might have sexually harassed some people, because TJ said, I don't even know if it's sexual harassment. I'll go as far as that, because when you have a position of power over people, there's a power dynamic, right?
I mean, yeah, I'll come to you. You're going to look at my dick later, right?
It's different.
I mean, that's
because you and I are on an even keel, but if you were my boss and did that, you know, hey.
At a certain point, yeah, it's like you want to keep this job. Exactly.
There's an element of power play there that you have to take into account.
None of these
so he
women
did
were
wrong.
his employees, as far as I know.
He did wrong. Well, not employees, but his position in the industry. Like they're.
I mean, so what? I mean, if you reach a certain level of power, you can never show your dick to anyone again unless they're of equal power. I mean, how do you even legislate that? That's subjective nonsense.
I didn't say legislate it. I'm not even calling for legislation. I'm just saying that, like, you have to take into account that he's a comedian. There's no boss of all comedians.
Right.
So they're not held to any standard because there's no boss of all comedians?
I mean, like,
well, he was working on that show.
If he whipped out his dick against their will and was like, yeah, look at my dick.
No,
so there's other comedians who are lower social standing.
He asked him about it.
There's a lower comedian, right? A comedian that's lower on the totem pole that knows that a meeting with you. Hold up. It's the false pretenses in which he lured them into the space where he could do something like that. That's a problem.
Yeah.
He didn't bring them there to talk about comedy or to have a nightcap with them and talk about their set that night. He brought them in there under false pretenses to present his junk to them, hoping that they, as lower people on the totem pole comedically, would let him do his weird fetish of jerking off in front of him. Because no woman is into that. No woman is into it. I mean, maybe some women are, but you're not going to find many that are into just, hey, let's go into a random dude's trailer and watch him jerk his crank. So that's why it's a problem, TJ. I'm not saying to make a legislation about it. You have to examine that power dynamic.
Is it fucking sexual harassment? I'm not
sure.
I don't think it is.
Yes.
It's not even a pattern.
When you lure somebody to a place under false pretenses with the, sole intention.
I mean, you don't know what his intent was going into.
Okay, are you telling me he decided afterwards in the moment to pull his dick out?
He might have, dude.
Come on, dude.
Like,
maybe
he
lacks
this could be the perfect
control.
opportunity.
All right, and then he did it over and over again with a bunch of other chicks that he admitted he did it with too.
Dude,
I mean, it's obviously his thing. He likes to whip his dick
Paul,
out.
we don't know. Maybe Louis C.K. lacks impulse
just because he likes to whip his dick out doesn't mean every incident was
I think he
planned
knew for a fact
in
that he
advance.
wanted to get those 2 chicks in his trailer so that he could pull his dick out on them.
At the same time, a lot of guys...
And I think if he had been honest with them...
A lot of guys have invited women to a lot of places with sexual intentions.
Yeah, I mean, how many guys have...
Is that necessarily wrong?
Like, let's just arrest the fucking world at that point.
No, it wasn't business. He wanted them to watch him wangle.
He took her to dinner and a movie, but only so he could later get into her pants.
That's different.
Sexual harassment.
He didn't ask these 2 bitches on a date. He didn't ask these 2 bitches on a date. He was like, hey,
consenting adults to watch him wangle.
Hey, great comedy stuff. You want to come back to my trailer and talk comedy and stuff? And
if you go back to a dude's trailer, you got to at least know that there's a possibility he might whip his dick out.
Okay.
There's at least the
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I mean, I guess there's a possibility that a giant pair of balls could descend out of the sky right now and crush us all.
I think there's a bigger probability of a dude whipping his dick out.
But I don't really think the probability is on the person that's having the dick pulled out on them. I think that the onus is on, like, had Louis C.K. gone up to them and been like, hey, want to come to my trailer so I can whip my dick out and show it to you? People, I think, would be singing a different tune now. But the fact that he's like, hey, want to come back to my trailer, talk comedy and stuff, and have a drink and shit, and chill out for a minute? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
That's like-
Two people,
Dude,
not
Paul-
one.
Hey, dude,
he didn't ask him on a fucking date.
Senator Paul, dude, the Netflix and chill legislation. You said you wanted to watch Netflix and chill, and you whipped your dick out. I'm afraid you need to go to prison now.
How is
know,
that
man.
the same? If
There's a
you do
slippery
that to your
fucking
fucking
slope.
underling, yeah,
There's a
yeah,
slippery
you
slope.
do.
There's a slippery slope.
What if they fucking wanted it,
I mean,
Paul?
I've heard
What
people-
If
they
the
fucking
underling
wa-
comes to you
I've
and goes,
heard
hey,
people
let me suck
making
that
this-
dick,
hold
you
on,
can
I've
do
heard
it.
people making this. Hold on, I've heard people making this power dynamic argument about like YouTubers dating fans. Me and Paul and Scotty, all three of us are dating people from our fan audience. We can say like, oh, well, that's because they have all this admiration and stuff for you, and that's how you lured them in or whatever.
That's
because
not
of the uneven
this
power
is not,
dynamics.
No, Louis C.K. is not losing his career because he dated another comedian.
Well, I'm not saying that.
He's
but I'm saying
losing-
you can make that same stupid ass power dynamic argument in that situation.
How? They
Tons
wanted
of
a
people have.
relationship, and we have a relationship with them.
People-
That's
Yeah.
different
But
than luring them to a
it's
trailer
not
and
even
whipping their
keel,
dick
though.
out.
Paul. It's not even keel. You have power over
They don't
them.
have sexual liaisons, Paul?
No,
Maybe-
I don't have power over them
Dude,
as fans. They're not working in the
Paul-
podcast. I didn't meet them as fellow
Louis C.K.
podcasters.
fucking whipped his dick out, and I mean, you know what? It was probably fucking wrong of him to do it.
Him fucking a fan
But
is
do
a
you think-
different
do you
thing
think-
entirely.
do-
That's an
so you-
that's an
you
exchange
do
where there
think-
is no expectation. Like
So you do
groupies
think?
fucking
Let me ask you a
rock
question.
stars.
Do you think Louis C.K. should go to prison for what he's done?
No.
If
Doug
he's guilty of it.
Stanhope.
No.
Doug Stanhope has been
Then what?
going on tour.
So do you think it should be illegal?
I'm just saying it rises to the level of what should be considered sexual harassment, and there should be repercussions for
Doug
it.
Stanhope.
Well, there
you
has
guys-
been repercussions
You guys know
for
Doug
it. That's what I-
Stanhope? You guys know Doug Stanhope?
TJ was saying earlier
Hey.
he doesn't believe it even rises to the level of harassment.
Do you guys know Doug Stanhope?
Yes.
Doug Stanhope's been going around the country trying to get Me Too'd. He's been showing off a picture of himself whipping out his dick in front of a bunch of fucking people, female comedians and all that. And he's like, no one wants to Me Too me. I'm just not famous enough. No one gives a shit that I whip my
He's
dick
making
out.
a bit out of it. That's why.
Yeah, but he really did it. I mean, it's the exact same behavior. It's not whatever. It just doesn't rise to the
auspices are
level
different.
of whatever. It
You don't
doesn't rise to the
understand that
level of
intent is 9/10 of the law, dude.
Who knows what anyone's intent is?
Intent. Well, that's the problem. Is that he came out and admitted that he did these things, and he said he shouldn't have. So, are you taking him not at his word too?
No, I'm just saying that his behavior is virtually identical.
When people reacted poorly to this, he was known to respond with, "I've fucked up. I've got issues." Why would he say that? Why wouldn't he just be like, "Hey, you dumb bitch, this is a normal social interaction. I'm TJ
I'm
Kirk.
not saying it's
I
a
just
normal
say,
social
hey,
interaction.
Put my arm around you. Hey, buddy, you want to come talk about
You know
something in the
what? I
alley
feel-
with me? Whoa! Whoa!
I feel like,
That's
Paul,
TJ.
Paul
no,
is
fuck
kink
you,
shaming.
bitch.
You're
You've been
kink
making
shaming
a flawed
fucking
fucking
Louis
argument
CK.
all night. You're
Kink
trying to
shame.
back
That
out
is
of it
true.
like
You're
a
ma-
beta bitch.
You're
no,
fucking
dude.
making a fucking. You're kink shaming Louis C.K. because if he wanted to
I'm not
kiss
kink
them,
shaming him for
if
shit. If he
if
showed
wanted
his
to just
asshole to
kiss
him, I'd be
them,
making the
if
same
he just
rant.
wanted to kiss him or grab a titty or something or cop a feel, it'd be okay. But because it's something a little weird, we have to treat it with
Because
a
it
different
involved him
standard
pulling
through a
his
different
genitals
lens.
off and jacking off in front of them, a thing that nobody
Paul,
seeks out in the first
dude,
meeting.
So someone goes and chills. I mean, look, obviously what he did was
That's
a
what
pretty
he's
extreme
into.
thing. But I mean, at the point of you said, I mean, if you asked them, and then when he did it, then when he exposed himself, I think at that point that is sexual harassment. But the point if you asked and they said and they agreed, I mean, it's hard to say that's sexual harassment.
Most of the fucking women say they fucking
No,
agree
when
to
he
it.
has a
but
position
when he-
over them, when they're working on a show that he's the
they
boss
can
of,
leave. They can leave.
and they know that their career could be made or breaked. You don't see a. I understand that
I think
anybody
they should-
can leave.
They should go out and they should do what they've already done.
Anybody can
If they feel like
leave
the best way
any
to deal
job,
with it.
but there's a reason why there's legislation in place that says it's illegal for a boss to go, "Hey, baby, nice fucking fat ass, bitch."
But he wasn't doing that. But he wasn't
because
doing
people,
that.
when their boss
But he wasn't
do that,
doing that. He wasn't doing that.
Yeah,
though,
I don't-
Paul.
He was going,
At no
"Hey,
point-
baby, let me whip out my cock and jerk it." Is that different? Is that a different thing?
Yes, because
It
at no
is.
point did he say you'll be fired if you refuse, or even imply that. He just whipped
Oh,
his
the
dick out.
implication. Oh, okay. So he has to. So you're telling me for it to
Well,
be
you said
wrong for
intention
a
matters.
boss to put somebody in a
You just
position
said
like
intention is
that?
9/10
They
of
have
the
to
law.
He
land.
wasn't their boss. Who was
You
he
just
the
said
boss
intention
He
is
was the
9/10
boss
of the
of that
law.
of the chick that said that he asked and he said, "Oh, I've got issues." He was working. She was working on the Chris Rock show, and he was a senior position over her.
Yeah.
she was a staff writer, and he was a senior writer on the show. He
we're
was
spo-
her boss.
At what point do women actually have to be accountable for their actions? Because that was the one that agreed to it. She agreed. He said, "Can I
This
jerk
isn't
off in
about-
front of you?"
Like you're
But
trying
you're
to
going to say, oh, no, she has no choice because he's her boss.
I didn't say that. You're putting those words in my mouth. She clearly has a choice. I'm just saying that choice is different. If he was a dude on the street going, hey, can I
Every
jerk off
choice
in
is
front of you?
different.
Her answer probably would have been different. Why is that, TJ? Why do you think her answer might have been no if Louis C.K.
Let me ask you this.
Hold up, let me
you
finish. Let me finish. If nobody Louis C.K. walked up to her on the street and was like, hey, baby, want to come and watch me jerk my crike? You think he'd have the same chance with her as Louis
No,
C.K.,
of course
successful
not.
comedian and
Of
boss?
course. I never said he would.
Then why are you so fucking obtuse on this?
I'm not being obtuse. You're the obtuse fuck here.
This is great. Dude.
Every fucking choice given you by anyone has different circumstances and different pressures and different fucking criteria. Oh, yeah, of course you're going to treat differently from this person than from this person. It's like if your best friend says, let's go to lunch, you're like, yeah. If your worst enemy says, let's go to lunch, it's like, fuck you.
So undo years and years of legal precedent when it comes to sexual harassment in the workplace. A boss should be able to walk up to anybody that they work for and go, hey, let me show you my brown eye.
I believe sexual harassment is actually a civil matter. I don't think it's actually a criminal matter.
Well, that may be true, but there's still legal precedent backing it.
Sure.
Tons and tons of cases have gone towards people who have alleged it. So clearly there's some legal problem there. I'm not alleging he should go to the fucking jail. I'm not saying make a federal beef out of what he did. I'm just trying to say that when you're in a position above people and you ask somebody down below you to look at your junk, it has a little different connotation than me walking up to you on the street on an even keel.
Sure.
And that power dynamic
A different
constitutes
connotation is
that
different.
abuse of that power dynamic constitutes a wrongdoing.
I don't agree it's abuse.
Oh, okay. All right. So you think once again, you don't think it's abusive for the boss of a company with a bunch of underlings that all want to be successful to walk up and go, "Hey, want to see my nuts? Want to suck my fucking balls?"
If he respects it, if they say no, then no, I don't think it's a problem.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you for watching Deep Fat Fried.